Dairy Agenda Day. Whenever they want to get a picture, we're going to take care of that for sure because they give us great publicity. And our thanks to the Dairy Agenda Day for all their support. All right, judges, if you will spread out, please. And we ask again that there'll be no talking during the judging. Even after your sheets have been handed in, if you would, please, no talking. Because there always seems to be that chance of a tie. If that's the case, then we will be judging again. So again, spread out, and we'll present now the animals to you. We begin with our Ayrshire heifer. That is Sunny Acres PRA Caliber, winner of the junior calf class, and then on to be your junior champion. Owned by Colt and Luke Buckley from Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. The breeder of this fine heifer was Doug Evans from up in New York. The animal presented today by Kelly Buckley. So from that junior calf class and on to be your junior champion for the Ayrshire breed. Sunny Acres PR Caliber exhibited by Colt and Luke Buckley. At the gate now is your Brown Swiss junior champion, Buck Meadows Design Wizzy. Also out of the junior calf class. Competed against all the other heifers to move up to that junior champion award. Owned by Colt and Luke Buckley and Saltzman and Carrier. Out of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Bred by Luke Buckley. And the animal was presented today by Luke Buckley. That's Buck Meadows Design Wizzy, your junior champion out of the Brown Swiss Show. Now at the gate is your Guernsey winner. That is Knapp's DR Bragging Rights, winner of the intermediate calf class. On in to get the junior champion Rosette. Owned by Colt and Luke Buckley and Hayes and Gilbert and Carrier. From the Beck Meadows Farm in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Bred by the Knapp's family up in Iowa. Being presented today by Colt Buckley. That's Knapp's DR Bragging Rights exhibited here at the fair by Colt and Luke Buckley, Hayes, Gilbert, and Carrier. Now your Holstein junior champion. You're looking at Buck Meadows Rosette, the winner of the intermediate yearling class. Competed on then to be your junior champion for the Holstein breed. This heifer is owned by Colt and Luke Buckley and by Carrier from Lawrenceburg, Stanford, Kentucky. Bred by Colt and Luke Buckley. Patrick Carrier is on the halter. That is your junior champion for the Holstein breed, Buck Meadows Rosette, exhibited by Colt and Luke Buckley and Patrick Carrier. Now your Jersey stepping into the ring. That's Miller's Joel King Majesty, the winner of the junior yearling class. Competed against the other heifers to get that Rosette with the junior champion award. She's owned by Cotley and Core Jersey Farm and by the Miller family. Bred by the Miller family out of Indiana. Rhea Miller is on the halter today. Heifer was the 2025 Indiana State Fair Junior Champion and now the Kentucky Junior Champion for the Jersey breed. Miller's Joel King Majesty exhibited by Cotley and Core Jersey Farm and the Miller family. The Milking Shorthorn, you're looking at Mo Hill's Inspired Arrogance, winner of the intermediate calf class. Owned by Taylor Graves from Danville, Kentucky. Taylor is also the breeder of this fine heifer, and Taylor's on the halter. This heifer was the Jessamine County Fair Supreme Champion heifer. That's Mo Hill's Inspired Arrogance, exhibited by Taylor Graves from Danville, Kentucky. And now into the ring steps your red and white junior champion, Bentley's Latitude Red, winner of the intermediate calf class. Being exhibited by Rodden Pike from Hardyville, Kentucky. She was bred by Jacob and Claire Better of Wisconsin. Rodden Pike on the halter. Heifer's previous accomplishments: Kentucky Black and White State Show first place winner, Kentucky Junior Livestock Expo and Bowling Green Supreme Champion there, and a 2025 Kentucky State Fair Junior Show Red and White Junior Champion. That is your Red and White Junior Champion, Bentley's Latitude Red, exhibited by Rod & Pike of Hardyville. So judges, that is your class, our fine junior champions from our open show, choosing your Supreme and your Reserve. And some more of our Fair Board members have arrived. Mr. Marshall Cole, Mr. Joe Goggin, Nick Carter, representing the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture. And we have Mr. David Wallace with us, who is kind of the chairman of the committee overseeing all the construction that's going on out here. So remember David Wallace, remember him in 2027 when we have our Kentucky State Fair over there, and pat him on the back, okay? We appreciate it. We are looking forward to what's going to happen there. But gentlemen, Fair Board members, we thank you for your plans and for your thinking, and David for helping lead this group. Our judges will mark their cards from 1 through 7, picking the one that they like first, and then right on down the line and the way that they would place them, 1 through 7. And the majority opinion is the process that we use, so whichever heifer receives the lowest number of votes or the most ones or twos or whatever, and we add them up, that's going to be our Supreme Champion heifer. Judges, you can step in for a closer observation if you would like. We're going to go into head-to-tail lineup now. And our judges will mark their cards. And again, judges, we ask that no talking until we have announced a winner. They'll mark their cards from 1 through 7 on how they would place each one in the lineup. While they're marking their cards, again, we salute all of our fine junior champions and these exhibitors, the owners, exhibitors from this year's Kentucky State Fair. And that is a lineup of quality dairy heifers without a doubt. Would you not agree? How about a nice round of applause for these fine heifers? Well, our tabulation process is underway, and just to share with you again, the winner receives a banner, but in addition to that, a $500 check. That will be what our Supreme Champion heifer will receive. And then the reserves receive $100 from the Kentucky State Fair Board. So we'll know here in just a moment. We do have a tie. Oh, Roger? We do have a tie, so we're going to ask our judges to do a revote. That is between the animals that are tied, which speaks well for the quality of the animals that we have here in our Junior Champion Parade. And we still have a tie. So we'll go through our process. All judges will receive a card, Roger. That's not the first time this has happened. This happened, I think, the first year we actually went to the judging at Supreme at the North American. I think we went through 3 or 4 tiebreakers, so it does happen. But again, that speaks so much for the quality of the animals that we have out here. But our judges will be making their vote, and we'll recalculate, see how that comes out. So this will be our third vote, and we're debating up here. We're thinking that if it doesn't come out this time, the State Fair Board members then will put in their vote. Oh, look at this. They're also, no way. All right.
It's like judging a beauty contest.
It's like judging a beauty contest. I agree with you. Yeah, our babies are worse. Well, again, I've spoken about the quality, and again, super quality here for the Kentucky State Fair all down the line in our classes. But to come away from the heifer classes with multiple votes to pick out your winners, that's fantastic. Let's give these heifers and exhibitors another big round of applause. This is great. All right, at this time, we would like to make the presentation of the Reserve Supreme Award. They receive a banner and $100 from the Kentucky State Fair. Your Reserve Supreme, that's going to be the brown Swiss heifer, Buck Meadows Design Wizzy. Exhibited by Colt and Luke Buckley and Saltzman and Carrier. The Buck Meadows Farm at Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. That's going to be your Reserve Supreme. And for the open show for the dairy at the Kentucky State Fair, your Supreme champion is going to be Miller's Joel King Majesty. That's your jersey. That's your Supreme. It's exhibited by Kitely and Cora Jersey Farm and the Miller family from South Isaac, Kentucky, and from Indiana. That is your Supreme, your jersey junior champion, Miller's Joel King Majesty. All right, thanks to all, and if those two will get into the picture area, and State Fair Board members, if you will, move in for a picture.
A few comments on our Supreme here. Supreme heifer for our jersey. I think it is her style and balance, her length of frame, her overall dairiness that she has, especially her blending of parts to that front end, beautiful rump structure, and a great set of feet and legs. Take nothing away from our Reserve Supreme here, just an extremely stylish March calf here for the Swiss breed, shows so much breed characteristics. Also a ton of dairiness and openness and great rib development for being just such a young calf. Maybe just not quite the age development as our spring yearling today, but two tremendous individuals. Congratulations.
Again, our congratulations to our Reserve and to our Supreme. Let's give them another big round of applause. Two great heifers.
Big round. Not a small one, a big one.
And while we're getting cows ready, we'd like to go ahead and present our Herdsman Supreme Award at this time. It is known as the Garland Baston Herdsman Supreme Award. They receive a banner and $150. It's presented each year to an exhibitor in each breed. A committee does the judging based on the neatness and attractiveness of the exhibit, appearance of the animals, the cleanliness of the aisles, and the exhibitor's behavior and cooperation with the staff and the other exhibitors. The award for each breed was presented during the particular breed shows. And then there's an overall award, that is the Supreme Herdsman Award. And your Supreme Herdsman for this year's Kentucky State Fair, it is the Ford family Farms from Lebanon, Kentucky. They exhibited Ayrshire's and Brown Swiss cattle. They were on aisle A where you come out of the West Hall lobby. They had great patriotic theme in their display. And they also did a great job working with the fairgoers that wanted to come up and be around their animals. And they got lots of pictures taken there. So congratulations to our Supreme Herdsman winner. That's the Ford Family Farms of Lebanon, Kentucky. I think they may have left already. If any of them are here, if you'll step out now. But I think they left just a little bit ago. All right, if you get a chance, you see those folks down the road, if you would give them a big pat on the back for a great job. The Ford Family Farms from Lebanon, Kentucky, the winner of the Supreme Herdsman Award. We're now ready for the parade of our grand champion cows. They're competing for $1,000 of manor and the pride of owning the Kentucky State Fair Supreme Champion cow. And the reserve Supreme Champion cow receives $100. Judges, if you will, so let's spread out. And again, we ask no talking while we're doing the judging and the tabulation process, please. We begin with our Ayrshire cow, True Blessings, Blackjack Phoebe, the winner of the 4-year-old cow class. And on to be your grand champion cow for the Ayrshire breed. It's classified as Excellent 91. Exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse and Jay and Christy Ackley and Jim and Valerie Spring. Bred by Jenny Young up in Vermont. Being presented today by one of the co-owners, Christy Ackley. A good show record, 2020 All-American Milking Yearling, 2024 All-American Honorable Mention, 2024 All-Canadian Senior 3, 2024 Royal Winter Fair Intermediate Champion and Honorable Mention Grand Champion. 2025 Ohio State Fair Senior Champion and Honorable Mention Grand Champion. For your Ayrshire breed, True Blessings Blackjack Phoebe, exhibited by Jesse and Kylie Muse, Jay and Christy Ackley, and Jim and Valerie Spring. Now your Brown Swiss Grand Champion is RNR Daredevil Janie. Junior 2-year-old winner. Owned by the Fairdale Farm. That's the Sparrow family from Owenton, Kentucky. On the halter today is Chad Volker. That is your grand champion, Brown Swiss cow RNR Daredevil Janie, exhibited by Fairdale Farm, the Sparrow family from Owenton, Kentucky, and bred by RNR Farm. Now the Guernsey. Lakeview Farms Drone Sunny, winner of the junior 2-year-old, intermediate champion, on in to be the grand champion. Owned by Leah Jenkins from Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Bred by the folks at the Lakeview Farm in Harrodsburg. Leah Jenkins on the halter. She was a 2025 Kentucky State Fair 4-H FFA Reserve Supreme and the Kentucky Proud Supreme. Your grand champion for the Guernsey breed, Lakeview Farms Drone Sunny, exhibited by Leah Jenkins. Through the gate comes our hosting grand champion, Green Pine Rejoice Bedazzle, 5-year-old cow class winner, on to be your grand. Classified Excellent 91. Exhibited here at the show by Jordan Eby, that's the Lookwell Farm, and co-owner Bob Osborne, Elkhart, Indiana. Bred by Jeff Stevens. Being presented today by Jordan Eby. 2022 was nominated All-American Junior 2-year-old. Your grand champion for the Holstein breed, Green Pine Rejoice Bedazzled, exhibited by Jordan Eby of the Lookwell Farm and Bob Osborne. Now our Jersey grand champion makes her way into the ring. Cotton Court Jersey Farm Lucky Lady Joelle Dream Chaser. Winner of the 4-year-old cow class. Classified as excellent at the 91 score. Owned by Cotton Court Jersey Farm and Frank and Diana Borba. Cotton Court Jersey Farm, the breeders, along with Diane and Frank Borba. Cotton Court Jersey Farm, South Isaac, Kentucky. Being presented today by Brady Cora. 2024 was the Kentucky State Fair Grand Champion and back this year in the same role. A milk cow, too, 14,693 pounds of milk, 715 on the fat. That's your grand champion for the Jersey breed, Cotton and Cord Jersey Farms Lucky Lady Joel Dream Chaser. Now your milking shorthorn makes her way into the ring. Hinksine Wildside Refined, winner of the senior 2-year-old class. Competed then to be intermediate champion and then on to be your grand champion. Classified as very good, a score of 86. Owned by Peyton Towle of Scottsville, Kentucky. She was bred by the Hinkey family up in Wisconsin. Being presented today by Kevin Benter. This cow was Indiana State Fair Reserve Grand Champion this year. And then comes down to Kentucky and becomes a Grand Champion. Hinkey's Wildside Refined, exhibited here at the fair by Peyton Towle. And now your red and white Grand Champion. MS Cedringa's Light Red ET, winner of the 5-year-old cow class. On to be your grand champion. Classified as excellent with a score of 93. Owned by Rocky Top Holsteins and Mitch Hockett from Speedwell, Tennessee. She was bred by the Savage family in Maryland. On the halter today is Matt Mitchell. She was a 2024 World Dairy Expo 3rd place 4-year-old, 2024 Honorable Mention All-American, 2024 North American International Livestock Expo Grand Champion. Representing the red and white breed, MS Adringa's Light. Exhibited by the Rocky Top Holsteins and Mitch Hockett of Speedwell, Tennessee. That is the lineup of your grand champion cows from our dairy show at this year's Kentucky State Fair. Again, we ask our judges no talking during the judging process or the tabulation process. This too will be a majority opinion plan for how you pick your winner. They will place each animal in the lineup on a 1st through 7, 1 through 7. So the animal who has the lowest score becomes your winner. Mr. Benner, our shorthorn judge, has decided not to put in a vote for this class, as he's been involved in the breeding and the ownership of the shorthorn animal. He's recused himself from judging on this class. So we'll have 5 judges doing the placing. I think I misspoke when I said Ryan Benter judged the shorthorn. Actually, Ryan judged the Ayrshires. Judges, if you would like to step forward for a closer observation, you may do so now. All right, we're ready now for a head-to-tail lineup. I do want to thank my Assistant Superintendent Roger Sparrow for all of his help throughout getting ready before we ever came to the Dairy Show and throughout our time here. And to all of our staff from the University of Kentucky Extension Service, the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, the Kentucky Dairy Development Council, and just some folks who have been involved in the dairy industry for a long time who volunteered to help us out here at the shows. To my staff, I thank you very, very much for all your help and cooperation, and we'll be looking for most of this crew to be with us at our North America, and it'll be coming up in November, first week of November. Make sure that's on your calendar and the plans to be here with us. Remind you to get those entries in early, and remind you of the stalling report form that you need to fill out and get those to me so we can make sure you get stalled. It will be a little tougher, of course, coming in with the construction and everything going on, but we'll do what we can to make that as easy as we possibly can. So put that November date on your calendar, that first weekend in November, as we start showing on Thursday and go through Monday. Judge Benter, Judge Vogley, Judge Paulson, Judge Karn, Judge Sloan, Judge LaFollette, we thank you so much for your work in placing our animals here at our dairy show. Our judges lined up on the rail over here. Let's give them a nice round of applause for their excellent work. And again, they are parading and competing to be the Supreme Champion Cow and Reserve Supreme Champion Cow here at our Kentucky State Fair. Our winner receives $1,000 and the banner, and the reserve receives a banner at $100. In just a moment, we'll know the winner. '25 Kentucky State Fair Supreme Reserve Supreme Grand Champion Cow will be the hosting. Grapevines rejoice, bedazzled at your reserve. Exhibited by Jordan Eby of the Lookwell Farm and co-owner Bob Osborne from Elkhart, Indiana. Congratulations, that is your Reserve Supreme Champion. Now the 2025 Kentucky State Fair Doe Supreme Champion Cow is going to be the Jersey. Cotton Accord Jersey Farms Lucky Lady Joel Dream Chaser. Exhibited by Cotton Accord Jersey Farm and Frank and Diana Borba. From the Cotton Accord Jersey Farm at South Isaac, Kentucky. Congratulations, that is your Supreme Champion Cow.
Just a few comments on our Supreme Champion here. Just her mammary system takes her to that top slot today. Just a crazy wild rear udder, so much bloom of capacity, beautiful turn to that rear udder, height and width to it, and snugness to that fore udder. She also has great dairy strength all the way through and walks on an incredible set of feet and legs. For reserve, another beautiful dairy cow, the incredible mammary system. You love the height and width of the rear udder of that Holstein. And also travels around the ring on a great set of feet and legs. So congratulations to both of these exhibitors.
And congratulations to all of our Grand Champion winners. And a nice parade of very, very good quality animals here for Kentucky State Fair Dairy Show. We have our Reserve, we have our Supreme. Our thanks again to our judges for placing our Supreme classes and done a great job on the breed shows. Let me say again, thanks to the Kentucky State Fair Board members for their continued support of our dairy industry. On behalf of our show crew, we want to thank you exhibitors for your cooperation, your fine exhibits, your quality animals, and your friendship. We thank you for making this another great State Fair Dairy Show. We'll be giving you release information notifications soon. Listen for our announcements. If you have not already done a pre-release form, you need to go by the livestock office and see Stuart Gritton there, and he'll get you fixed up with the pre-release. Once we announce release, you'll come back and pick that up. As far as the staging, you can be staging trucks and trailers now in Lot K. Staging, what that procedure means is we'll bring 4 or 5 trucks and trailers at a time over to W1, W2 for a load out. You must go through the staging in the K line. We find you're over at W1, W2 and you didn't go through staging, then you will be asked to go to the back of the line in K line. You'll be listing for more